We're live. Hello, everyone. Well, today's a special day because I haven't spoken to Dino for a month. It's like, whoa, that is insane. Okay, from speaking every week and just keeping in touch, we've been out of touch for a month. And it's been really weird because I was getting used to our conversations, Dino. It was like so cool to just have the conversation. So now, on that note, we're going to have a really beautiful conversation because we haven't seen each other for so long.
You've had Dino withdrawals, Carina. That's the way I look at it. I'm kidding.
Yes, well, obviously you needed to withdraw. It was December or whatever it was, and you had to obviously come up with some exciting things, you know. So I did post something on Facebook before this, if anyone sees it, but that's just on another note. So let's see what Dino's been doing, and let's just chat and see what's happening now and like this year, because this year is such an exciting year. I can just feel the energy. How about you, Dino?
Yeah, it is. By the way, Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to everybody who's watching this. It's a little late in the game, but this year was weird. I think a lot of people really enjoyed vacation, whoever took it, or a little time off, which is good. But historically, January 1st, you come back the 2nd or the 3rd. This year, for some reason, everybody's like, I'm not ready to get back in the game. So the majority of the people that I'm finding, got back this week, really. So this is a great time to do this show, so we could talk to people about 2023, right?
Yes. And like I said, it's an exciting year. For some reason, if you believe in numerology, right, it's a 7-year. And 7 years are like beautiful exposure, and it's like so many big things. And come on, Dino, look at me like that. It's like, I can see your face. What are you talking about?
Numerology.
But of course, it's what you make of it, okay?
I'm just going to nod my head. There you go.
Yeah, that's a good thing. So tell me what have you been doing since we last spoke?
Wow. Well, closing out the year, obviously there's a magazine to tend to, and it's coming out. It's because of the holiday. It's coming out on the 20th of January. A lot of great interviews, and I was actually interviewed, which was very weird because I'm like, all right, hold on a second. Is it weird just to me that I'm getting interviewed by my own? It was just one of those.
It's a bit weird, but hey, it's
no, but it was really cool. It's the theme is basically a new year, new start, resolutions that should be looked at as just a day of the year, a tick on the clock, but really everything we talk about is really a lifestyle. It's a mindset.
Yes.
And so that's in the magazine that's being filled up. Also working on a few other projects. One, I'm not going to mention too much about it now, but I was called to, I want to do it right. So I'm not sure yet. I haven't given a yes, but to be the spokesperson for the Greek hopeful Olympic team for pickleball. And I'm like,
wow, pickleball? I still haven't played pickleball.
I haven't, but now this may force me to play. I don't know. But, as honored as I am with that, I want to make sure that I can do a good job. I mean, obviously they want to extend awareness and they want to be an Olympic team in Greece.
Wow, that is, who would think, right?
I didn't. But, because I'm open to things come, and then you can always make the choice of whether your involvement makes a great impact or your involvement doesn't. It's always something that you want to take seriously. But I'm really thinking about it, and I'm really thinking that I'd like to help any way I can. But that's another show.
That sounds exciting. So now you have to go and play pickleball. I think that I'm going to have to put that on my list of things to do before the end of the month.
It's fun. It's like ping pong and a mini tennis court and racquetball all into one. And the last time I played racquetball was in the end of high school. And I wasn't that good, tennis, it's a big court, but imagine now a smaller court, and the ball they use is a wiffle ball. So you can't, it's not going to hurt like racquetball, but I think it's a fun, healthy, social sport because you're so close, you get to talk to each other, and it's all ages. You see people 70, 80 years old playing 20, 30-year-olds. Nice. I think that's a cool dynamic.
That's beautiful. Yes.
But what I've really done, I just christened this a couple days ago, actually, because I was in an interview, and I am launching a Recovery is Discovery 2023 tour, spreading hope where people need it most, which I think, again, is in the treatment centers, the addiction treatment centers around the country. Yes. I just want people to know and to what to expect when they get out. Just like me, when I was in there, it was great. It is a protective bubble. You're obviously being tested all the time. You feel safe, right? And all stories are great stories, and all feedback is great feedback. But I wanted to focus on asking my counselors at the time, hey, you're sober 17 years, 20 years, 30 years. I need to learn from you. Yes. How is it out there? Am I going to be boring? That was the first thing I thought. Yeah, good luck with that one. But,
you didn't know.
What happens when I pass a bar? What happens when I'm with somebody who drinks socially? Or I see a beer commercial. Or during the holidays, all holidays. Everybody was, commercials for vodka, commercials for rum, commercials for, you see it. How can you handle that? And I really wanted to know, right? So the experiences of others is what I kind of sucked into my brain. So I sucked their experiences, plus I used my own when I got out. And now I got a story to tell that isn't just like, let me tell you what happened to me. But I really believe that a lot of people go through this. And if we're going to do anything to make a big impact in that in that market, right? This is the way to do it. Yes. I'm not afraid of being pigeonholed as a recovery author or a recovery speaker. You know what I mean? Who cares? But that's what I am. And I'll be this for the rest of my life. So it's exciting and it's slightly terrifying. all feelings and emotions that I love. So I'm right in there. I'm right in my zone.
That's exciting because, yes, I can see that. It's like, that's just like a Dino is ready here now. So watch out, world, right?
I guess. It's fun exploring. It's fun trying different things. And the story behind the name of the tour, it's actually the coin that was given to me when I did my treatment. When you finish your treatment, you go in front of the group, you're handed your recovery coin. And my counselor, they were handing out coins. She's like, wait, don't give him this coin. I have a special one that I picked out for him, And she hands it to me and it says, recovery is discovery, is recovery, is discovery. It keeps going.
Yes.
Honestly, I was flattered that she hand selected the coin for me, but at the same time, I'm just like, what does this mean? I get it, but I don't get it. And fast forward a few years, especially, light speed this last year, every day is an adventure, Carina. Yes. So recovery is discovery every single day. So it was a great way to honor my counselor. She loved it when she heard about it. And off we go.
And it is exciting because it's almost like you've had training wheels. And that's how I'm feeling about this last year. Training wheels were on. This year, the training wheels are off. Now it's just balancing and going forward.
And so falling.
Of course, that's all part of the fun.
It's not always fun, but no. It's part of, you're going to fall. You're going to fall. Yes. It's okay.
It's
Just keep
okay.
moving forward.
Yes. And you get better and better. So you might fall 3 times and then you'll fall twice and once. And hey, then you ride a bit for quite a long time before you fall. So it's all good.
But you will fall.
Of course. Yes.
That's the finale. We don't sugarcoat it here. You know, I mean, everything's going to be great and rainbows and unicorns. You know, there are going to be times where there are no rainbows or unicorns, and that's okay. That's normal. That's part of life, and that's what makes it interesting, the variety in it. So I just want to make that clear.
Yes. You know what? I know for myself that if everything was great all the time, I'd probably find something to break it, right? Because I'd get bored, right?
Everybody, but I know you. Yes. Hey, this feels too good.
Yes.
Let me just do something to ruin it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so messed up one, as you say it.
That's all right.
Yes. So there's lots of exciting things. So you're starting your tour soon?
I am. I'm waiting for some confirmation calls from some other places, but I'm going to christen it in Lake Arrowhead, California. You're close to your neck of the woods, like 2.5 hours north, I believe, if I remember. But and then there's one in Utah. There's one in Colorado. I'm waiting to hear back from a few in New Jersey and Connecticut, and it's just going to start. There was no plan in this, right? I didn't have a marketing team crunching numbers. Well, you know, statistics. I'm just doing what I feel is good and right. And if you really think about it, this tour just keeps my batteries charged like all the time. This is what I feed on, right? So I'm right in my element. And I know it's a good feeling, but it's also unknown. You know, there's a lot of people now that are jumping. They're saying, "Hey, I read your write-up, and how do I get involved? I'd like to speak because I'm in recovery." You know, I mean, wow, did I expect that one? No, but that's part of the side effect of you know, when you create these universal movements. I think they're fun. But let's also talk about you. Very, very cool. I've been watching your shows, and I love the diverse audience subject matter that you bring to the table. I saw one, what was it, a couple of weeks ago, this cult, and there was another one right before it, and I was just like blown away. I'm like, whoa, you know, but it's good that you're getting people to talk about different fears, different phobias, different cages in their minds. I mean, it's very powerful. So congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I think last year was a bit about breaking fear. This year is about finding the freedom. So it's about exposing these stories so people know what's happening. And also it's very therapeutic for the people that are speaking about it, because it gives them like a platform to say, you know what, this is what happened to me and it's okay.
Yeah, right. That's exactly right. It is healing for both. Now you understand, like when I speak or if I help somebody or I put somebody in treatment, now you understand why I kept saying, you know, sometimes I feel like I'm getting the better deal.
Yes.
And people are just like, what are you talking about? But it's a reciprocal thing. You know what I mean? And it just falls into what you give out, you get back. And I believe tenfold or more, because you never feel so charged up after you do the work, the session or the counseling or the inspiration session or that one post that motivates a couple people that reach out to you and you're like, yeah, all right, that was a good thing that I did that, you know?
Yes.
All the while maintaining a small ego and a small head. Okay.
Yeah, well, I suppose it's not about ego, but yes, it's very easy to get like overrun and think, whoa, I'm really great, but it's not about that. I think it's more about connecting with heart, and then your ego goes like, okay, and you try and keep it on in place.
Yeah.
But with this work, I've also discovered that there's people also coming in and saying, hey, you know, let's do this together. Let's do that together. What about this or what about that? So that's also very exciting. So it's an exciting year. It's an exciting year. I think it's one of those years where we're all going to our lives are going to explode. And when we have our end of the year show, we're going to go like, whoa, who are those people? They don't exist anymore. Look at how far we've come this year.
Do you know what I saw a few days ago? Some Facebook friend posted a jar, right? It's just a jar and a little opening. And she called it a hope jar or something like that. And basically it's writing down every good thing, good moment that you feel at the time, you feel like real time, right? So if I'm like, oh, I did Carina's show and man, I had a elated feeling, you write that down on a piece of paper and you put it in this jar. And the thought behind it is that at the end of the year, you sit down in reflection and you pull out all of those little beautiful moments in your life.
Beautiful.
And I think the effect, I've never done it, but I thought it was pretty cool. The effect is probably going to be, wow, I got a lot to be grateful for, right? Because we dwell on negatives more than the little things in life that make life fun. And I think it's a cool thing. I haven't done it, but I honestly think I'm going to, because it sounds like a lot of fun.
Yes, it does, because it's true. You forget about those little moments. And I know, like last year, when I was doing my reflection of the year, it was always about like, oh, you didn't do this, oh, you didn't do that, oh, you didn't do the other. Like, what is wrong with you?
And you dwell.
You dwell on it, yes. Yeah. And then you need someone to say, hey, but look, you know, you did your podcast, you did this. Come on, you know, look at the good.
But a year from now, if I told you, Carina, tell me all the good things that happened in the year, you'd be like, right? Because you forget. Yes. So this jar is pretty, I mean, honestly, it's pretty cool. And anybody wants to try it and give me feedback later. But here's the thing. Don't cheat in the middle of the year and pull them out and say, well, I got to read them now. I think it's fun, like opening up a Christmas package. If you wait till the end of the year, yes. Take 5-10 minutes, take an hour, take 2 hours, whatever, and call it reflection time. And go through it before the tick on the clock for 2024. I think it's going to be kind of an amazing story for you to cover, Carina.
Yes. Yes,
you know, you have multiple guests on that actually did this.
Yes.
And sharing what they've discovered. That's a cool show. That's a show right there.
I love that. So I think I'll put the challenge out. So let's, I challenge you.
By the way, all trademarks go to Dino Miliotis. I'm kidding.
Yes. Well, we'll do it together, right? We'll do a show together. I challenge you to do this. Get a jar and put in all your beautiful moments. And then let's do a show. Let's do a collective show of everybody who does it. I'll do it. You do it. And then we talk about how awesome it is. And we'll have this beautiful feel-good show. Okay, I love that.
Even if you had one great experience a month, which is impossible, that's 12 for there can't be a downside to this. This is going to be kind of a cool experiment.
Yes. I love this.
So thank you, Dunia, my Facebook friend, for posting that picture. She doesn't even know. But I saw it and I'm like, wow, what a great idea. So anyway.
Well, thank you, whoever did that. That's a brilliant idea. I love it. So that's a challenge. We'll do it and we'll chat about it at the end of the year. And remember, you have good moments every single day. You just don't remember them. Of course, that's the most important. Mine's over there.
Yeah, but I'm drinking mine. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yes, I love that. So that's a very good challenge. So you on another mission this year. It's very interesting how last year this time you had left your old home and you had started a new home in North Carolina with your family, and now you're going out and you starting this other beautiful project to go out and to share yourself with the world.
You Yeah, I mean, look, I can't be the only one going through this, but like when you're in the zone, you're in the zone. It
Yes.
was roughly a little over a year ago, where I needed, I'm a social person, duh, but you don't realize it when you're in a glass cage, right? And I'm just like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of this isolation, or I'm gonna die. I mean, literally, I'm gonna die.
Yes.
Like every day's the same. It was Groundhog Day.
Yes.
What am I gonna have for breakfast? What's on TV? When am I gonna work out? What's for dinner? Wow, monotonous, right? And especially it's more isolated because I love reinventing myself, right? So I'm technically retired. I didn't want to go back and do the same stuff that I did. I mean, all my life, I haven't been pigeonholed. I've been this, I've been that, I've been that. And most people just stay with the same profession and they wait and they, in the old days, they used to get a gold watch and everybody would say, oh, great, now you're retired. And that's it. But that's not me.
Yeah.
And thank God I realized that. That's not me. So when I came out here, it was just like, whew, the fog lifted, right? And I guess to other people, I must have seemed like just a Energizer bunny. I don't notice those things when you're doing them, right? But when you look back on the year, again, reflection. And I did mine in Key West. I took a few days off just to smell the roses. But you're just like, wow, you know what? What a difference a day makes, right?
Yes.
What a difference a day makes. So when you do what you love and you're willing to experiment and delve into the unknown, my take on it is that you're not. Fear isn't part of the equation, right? It's a thrilling feeling more than a terrifying feeling. If that makes sense, right? And you try things. You stretch past your comfort zone, and if you don't like it, it's like dipping your toe in the water. If it's too cold, take it back out. But at least you tested the temperature. That's what I'm trying to say. And now more than ever with the social stuff and everybody's on, the virtual stuff and everything, it's a lot easier, in my opinion, to try things.
Yes.
In my day, it's like you want a business, building. You build a building, then you have furniture, then you got to have phones, then you have to have people. Now you have to try to sell your product. Here, this is my office. There's no, you try whatever you want.
Yes. Yes.
And you eliminate whatever doesn't feel good for you.
Yes. Yes. That's exactly, and that's how it should be. You do, you check and you look at things. You do what you love, and yes, and that includes people as well. So sometimes you have people in your life where you don't click anymore. So you don't have to be in that relationship. You can just gently say, okay, I don't need this anymore, and move on. So
right.
that also you need to give yourself permission. You don't have to stay with people around you that you don't want. So you create the world you want, right?
And that changes too. I guess 2023. Let's talk about rule number 1. And you always call it self-love. I call it love yourself. But let's put it this way. If it was right now between, I'm going to say this, I don't want to offend people like, oh my God, he's pushing religion. But God is very important in my life. Wasn't always at times, but is just the reason I'm alive, okay? That and sobriety are number 1 and number 2 in my life forever, right? Anything that affects those 2 things. I'm the ruthless protector of my world, right?
Yes.
Doesn't mean I'm afraid to introduce things, because if I feel I'm strong enough, I can handle it. If I don't feel I'm strong enough, why? Because I'm protecting the 2 sacred things that I just explained.
Yes.
You may have your own 2 sacred things,
yes.
or 5 or whatever. But the point is, when you protect your world, you have choices, right? Becoming sober gave me my power back. I then, and isolation too, believe it or not. There's always,
Yes,
from
yes,
all bad comes good.
yes.
Being isolated means I completely carpet bombed and deleted, just like the delete button on a computer, all the trash that I always feel like I got to carry with me.
Yes.
And now it's my choice who, if anybody, gets reintroduced into my world, but with boundaries. Or is it better for me to explore new things or a combination, right? You see? But in all cases, I got my power back. Now, this isn't just me, right? I truly believe, I mean, I think it's a fact. Don't quote me. But this is a universal thing. This isn't just me talking. But the reason that it's me talking now is because I choose to make my experiences public and vocal, right? I am also a big believer in second chances.
Yes.
And this is a bad analogy, but just like, because I've had this, you go to an animal shelter and you adopt a pet, be it a dog, a cat, whatever. Those animals are more appreciative of the relationship they have with you and your family than the purebreds or the ones that are, I was going to say farm raised, but that's probably not right. But you know what I mean? Because they know, hey, I've lived a horrible life. I've had a horrible master, parent, whatever. And this guy or gal are wonderful and they're so appreciative, you know? That's kind of how I feel. I feel like I'm one of those strays that was in an animal shelter and I got rescued. And so because of it, I look at things a little more rose-colored than I used to. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I understand exactly what you're saying because it's just also, you know, the background, what happened and everything. It just, you see things see things as a blessing. So whatever happens is a blessing. Even though it seems like a curse at the moment, it's still a blessing.
Right.
And I think for me as well is once you get your power back, so once you take it back from all the external things that you give it to, voluntarily, lots of times.
Voluntarily.
Yes, you do. And a lot of times people say, well, hey, you know, he did this or she did that or whatever. If you sit back and you're honest with yourself, you'll realize that you gave people permission. And now I'm like also going into like murky waters here, but I can speak about myself. You give people permission to do things and you give them your power. So once you bring it all back to yourself,
yeah,
and you start loving yourself and realizing that that's where it starts, right? Everything changes.
Yeah.
Because then the world opens up. For me, I've noticed the world opens up and people start coming into your world and you start working together on a whole different level.
On your terms.
Yes, of course.
It doesn't mean you're the expert. Let's make that clear. But on your terms. In other words, if this is a dumb example, but if you're a close talker, that means like when you see me, hey, how you doing? You know, I probably at this point say, you know, it's a little creepy to be this, you know, it's a dumb example. But again, what I just said is being vocal about your boundaries, what you are willing to tolerate and what you are not. So let's go into rule number 2 for the new year. I'm giving out rules. I don't know why, but no regrets. Okay?
Yes.
The number one thing that keeps people crippled in the past is regret.
Yes.
Is regret. Well, you know, things are great, but oh man, I wish I did. It's done. It's done. And I had this conversation with somebody not long ago, and actually it happened to me too. Moving around so much, especially, you know, right before I made the decision to go into rehab, you know, I had several homes and several things, and I don't want to sell them. I don't want to give them away. I don't want to, you know, so what do? What did I do? Like a hoarder. Buy some big storage units, put all the stuff in there, and hopefully maybe one day I'll buy a similar house with similar space and similar tastes so that this furniture that's very specific can decorate my house. And then, or clothes or mementos or what have you, right?
Yeah.
And then after I got out, I got clean and sober and I started my life again, pressed the restart button. You start looking around and I'm paying a bill every month. The storage bill, we've all seen Storage Wars. That's what happens when you don't pay your bill. There's no way I was going to see my stuff on Storage Wars. I'm just telling you that, right? But instead, I decided to pay and pay and pay and pay. And maybe one day, at some point, I just said, who cares? Whatever's in there, it's 3 years old. If there's a shirt in there 3 years, it probably doesn't even fit me.
Yes.
I didn't miss it. It doesn't matter. So I'm giving people a challenge right now. And just think about this. Don't do it. Just think about it. How many things can you honestly say? Material things now. Material things. Be them mementos, photos, clothes, furniture. How many of you are prepared to be perfectly okay with walking away from that with no regrets? You'll be surprised at the answer. There's a lot less people than you think. And it's almost like watching that show, Hoarders. Everything's so important. Well, I don't want to throw this paper away because I might use it. I don't want to throw this coupon away from 1978 because it gives me a free cup of coffee. Dude, it's not 1978 anymore. Take it out of your wallet or your purse. Throw it away. Throw it away. So for me, anyway, it was like wiping a slate clean. It was just like clean stuff. Have I ever kicked myself and said, "Oh man, that piece of furniture would look great in that corner"? Yeah, but you know what? They make more furniture, so it's okay. It's okay. Yes. It is very liberating when you look at life like that. So, for whatever the reason, and you've done enough episodes now where the common theme is freedom, right? You want to break away from that fear and find your freedom. Well, if that's easier said than done, because most people love taking fear, putting it in a Glad trash bag, and carrying it around with them wherever they go. Oh, I need this. I know it's garbage, but I can't let go. You know what I mean? And it's terrifying to just say, let the damn thing go. But once you do that, it's just like, whoa. Now, are there going to be other fears, other worries, other issues that come up going forward? Of course. But now you know how to handle it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Between the last time we talked and now, anybody who owns an iPhone, the software has been updated at least 6 to 7 times.
Yeah.
At least 6 to 7 times. Okay. Anybody who works on their laptop or their desktop knows that the delete button goes into a trash bin. And I'm sure people have deleted that trash bin at least once, let's say, since the last time we spoke. So we know how to throw out garbage. My garbage guy comes down my street once a week. And everybody goes out there with their trash. Oh, it's trash day tomorrow. You better throw it. We know. Hey, it's garbage. It's got to go. The only thing we're reluctant to throw out is the garbage in our head. Think about it.
And the garbage around us as well. I think a lot of people feel like it's comforting for them to just keep, because, if you have stuff, then you've got stuff and you don't have to look at yourself because you've got stuff. I'm not sure. For me, I've never been a person for stuff. I've always been a minimalist. So if I don't wear anything for 6 months, I don't need it anymore. I give it away. There's no time to be surrounded by stuff.
Right.
But most people I've come across, they're like, hey, I can't throw this away because it's scary. What will happen? What if I need it in a year's time or 2 years' time? What?
No, I get it. And we're talking about material stuff. So now let's go to the stuff that's not material, the stuff in your head. Yes. Let's go to the stuff in your head. Very tricky. Very tricky. So here's number 3. We said no regrets. Number 3, right? There's, I'm getting good at this computer stuff, by the way, because I'm able to use words that actually make sense. Anyway, just throwing that out there. I'm very proud of myself. But there's a defrag button.
Yes.
And defrag doesn't mean throw it away. Defrag means make it efficient. Almost like the equivalent of taking your winter clothes, putting them in storage boxes, labeling it winter, and putting them in the attic, instead of having a closet that's filled with winter jackets and summer jackets. And, you know, everybody out there knows what I'm talking about. Shame on you if you're going to say, well, I don't do that. Yes, you do. You know that. But so the defrag button is really more appropriate when we're talking about your head, right? There's obvious trash in there that you know is trash, and you're going to say, you know what, I'm dumping this. I'm sorry. Nobody's living in my head rent-free.
Yes.
But more times than not, it's compartmentalizing those things in your head, because all experiences are good, even the bad ones. I live on that. I love to remember, because it gives me such a great, clear library of experience, a wealth of experiences, not only mine, but the ones I've sucked out of other people's brains by asking uncomfortable questions, because I'm extremely curious.
Yes.
It's a good thing. In this case.
Yes. Yes.
It's probably annoying to the person that's getting terrorized by me, but you know what? For me, it's giving me information. But all this stuff is just going around in your head, and you're just like, all right, well, what do I do with it? There's one experience that may dwell. Well, you know what happened to me? Let me tell you what happened to me. I had a bad, well, you think you had a bad time. Let me tell you what happened to me. That experience, hit the defrag button, and it gets stored into bad experiences that you may recall if you're feeling weird like that again. Oh, wait a minute, let me look at my bad experience bin. Yeah, this feels like that one. Remember what you did that time? Don't forget, right? That's what I mean. It's useful knowledge, but it needs to be stored in the proper place. If it's not stored in the proper place, you can't move forward, right?
Right.
And I know a new year is just a day on the calendar, but every day should be New Year. But for the purposes of what we're talking about, new year, new cheer, right? It's good to start understanding the tools that everybody has available to them without having to read one self-help book. These things that I mentioned are things that you can do. Yes. And the effects, guys, is not like, well, maybe in a month, maybe it's immediate. It's the time you decide to change is when it happens. That's the most immediate gratification you're searching for. People pay money they're paying money for my speaking, and I'm flattered. But at the end of the day, you got to realize that you have the power to be the biggest self-help guru for yourself on the planet.
Yes.
And it's just like that. Just like that.
Yes. Once you've made that decision, then that's it. Then you can move forward. But you've got to get to that point where you've got to make that decision. And it's your choice all the time. You can't go to someone like, I've learned the hard way. Like, okay, you know what? I can help you. Come on, I can help you. Let me help you. And they go like, no, I don't want your help.
Yeah.
And I mean it in a loving way. And they also going like, of course, thank you, but no, go away. I'm not ready. So
when somebody's ready, they're ready.
Yes.
When they're not, they're not.
Yes.
And on the flip side is even, and how many people have heard this? Tell me what I should do. Yeah. I'm asking somebody else to tell me what I should do. Now it sounds great because they call it advice, but the person who knows you best is you. And you always have the answer. You're just looking for that coalition. You're petitioning the popular answer that you want to hear. But the only person that's going to know what you should do is you, right?
Yes.
So again, if you have a defragmented brain and you stop being a hoarder and you've dumped your garbage, right? And you have no regrets and you're prepared to be open, for whatever comes your way, because you have the choice whether you accept what's in front of the road or not, right? So it's not like, oh, what if this happens? You could say no.
Yes, yes.
No is a complete sentence, right? So if you have all those things going on, now you have a completely free and fertile mind to just explore some just ridiculous experiences. And they just the hits keep coming, Carina. I'm telling you, I've had a lot of fun.
And that's what it's about. But it's also you've opened yourself up to it, and you're willing to accept it, because it's a lot of times the fun comes, or the opportunities come, and people go, no, I can't do this now because I've got to do this or I've got to do that. And opportunities come once, and then you think, oh, if I had done that, then this, then it's too late.
Opportunities come every second of every day, right?
Yes, so you've got to be open to it and know yourself and know where you want to go, so that you can, of course, you can't accept all the opportunities. I mean, that doesn't make sense, because some of them just don't connect or whatever. But still, you have those opportunities, and to keep your eyes open and to look and say, hey, we can do this or we can't do that. It's exciting. It's very exciting.
Carina, you stand in front of a bus stop waiting for a bus and you miss it. That's not the only bus that goes by. There's going to be another one that shows up, right? It's just you have to be ready to get on the bus.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That's what we're talking about. And for everybody watching, I'm not trying to like, ooh, there's miraculous. For me, my experiences, especially the recent ones, have been new and exciting and life-changing and thrilling, and just as quick as I'm describing it. 1 year ago, you were my only Facebook friend. Not that Facebook is important and whatever, but wow, what a difference.
Yes.
The difference was that I decided to get my head out of the sand. I was going to say something else, but let's say sand. And reintroduce myself humbly to a world that includes a lot of old, beautiful friends that I grew up with.
Yeah.
Some that I haven't seen in 40 years, some that I haven't seen in 50 years. A lot of new friends that I've met, beautiful friends. A lot of business collaboration. I mean, you name it. It's always been there. It's just my refusal to come out of hiding was my enemy, right? Now, you can't get so grandiose and live on your computer or your phone, okay? I'm going to be the first one. Everybody knows how I feel about that, right?
Yeah.
It's good to connect. It's good to exchange information. It's good to check in on new and old friends or family, right? It's good to share something new. If you have a business, you're an entrepreneur, there's no shame in saying, this is what I do, and call me if you want X, Y, Z. There's no problem in that. But there are a lot of people that will post morning, noon, and night, literally every 10 minutes, 20 minutes, all day, all night. How they get sleep, I have no idea. I'm not making fun of them. I'm just saying that the real world is still outside, right?
Yeah.
And being a social person, I can't fall in love with a computer screen more than a visit to a friend, old or new, or a family member, or a new associate or an old associate. You get the idea, right? There's just this chemical connection that will never be replaced. Will never be replaced, right? One last one. I think it's 4 now, right? For the new year. Try something, and this is from a guy who experienced extreme isolation, and then not everybody falls into this category, right? They have a family, they have children, they have lives. I had none of that, right? But try and do something social each day. If you're going to watch television in this particular explanation, invite a friend, invite a family member, invite somebody. Share the show together, or go out and visit somebody. If you go to a restaurant and you're eating alone, and alcoholics don't try this at home unless you're really, really ready. I don't eat at a table. I sit at the bar. I sit at the bar because I love conversations with the bartender, and I love conversations with my neighbors that you can't do when you're sitting alone in a booth. I try very hard to have that social interaction at least once a day. It's turned out to be a lot more than that, but you get the idea, right? Go to a night of trivia. A lot of the restaurants and bars have that now, and it's a lot of fun. Do social things out of your comfort zone, because I know people work, and I know they get tired, and I know they look forward to coming home, and they're just like, oh, I'm going to just relax and do nothing. I get that. You feel like that sometimes, but what if you came home and you had 1 hour of company, 1 hour of socializing? That's not much to ask. But that 1 hour just charged your batteries, as far as I'm concerned, more than an 8 hour sleep. Try it.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's so easy to stay. And because sometimes you get involved and you start doing this and this because there's writing and whatever you have to do. And it gets to like in the afternoon and you think to yourself, whoa, why am I feeling so down and depressed or whatever? It's because I'm just being isolated and focused on this. And if I get out and go out for a walk or whatever, go for a walk or call someone and have coffee or whatever it is, it changes everything.
Yeah.
It changes everything.
No, it really does. Carina, this was a great show. I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to see that the show is moving forward in a lot of different directions, stuff that you'll probably talk about later. And I'm glad that we can share this kind of stuff to people who may connect with this, right? The goal was if we could touch one person on the show, it would be worth doing. I think we're touching a lot more people than one. And so for those reasons, I don't mind sharing my personal thoughts or my intimate stuff. I mean, because I chose to do this to help people, and I get something out of it as well, right?
Yes, yes.
This was a good show.
Yes, thank you, Dino. It was awesome, and it was so cool to connect again. And I know we're doing this every week, but now that you're so busy, everything's so busy, so we'll connect once a month, which is awesome anyway. So thank you for that.
We can check it once a month. It's really cool. But I do watch your shows. I do follow. Congratulations for everything, and we'll catch you on the road. I mean, I'll keep getting a bigger and bigger schedule of stops, and it'll be more concrete. But wow, what a start! And anybody out there who's a recovered alcoholic, drug addict, whatever, you don't have to say who you are. But you know what? If you could post my email or my phone number, if somebody wants to join me on my tour, there'll be situations where I might just want to call on you. I mean, these are speaking gigs that are, you got to remember, every 30 days, there's a new group that goes into treatment centers. It's, I hate saying it this way, but like a revolving door. So just one treatment center is 12 speaking engagements. Now multiply that by 14,000 credible ones. You can obviously see there's no way I could do this on my own.
No.
So I've assembled a team, but it's going to continue to get bigger and bigger. And the same thing with treatment centers. Anybody knows of a treatment center that might have an interest? Let's go. You know what I mean? Let's do it.
Yes. So everybody, all the details will be obviously in the description box. I'm going to put this on. It will be on YouTube. Well, we are streaming live on YouTube, but I'll put all the description there, and check out my post before the show. I did a Medium article on this, and
You did?
I did.
Oh, okay. All right. I have to see it.
You'll have to see it. And then also watch the space, because lots of exciting things are happening. The speaking gig of Dino is going to just change the world. And on that note.
On that note, Carina, it was a pleasure. Everybody out there, Happy New Year. And I'm glad you tuned in. If you did, if you didn't, hello. But we'll see you next time, huh?
Yes. Thank you, everybody. This has been awesome. Thank you so much, Dino, again. And we'll see you on the road.
Yep.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.